Okay, weirdo. Here are 5 proverbs that help me become a better mommy. My name is Devonne and I am coming to you from the island of Tobago. Proverbs are a big thing here. Kinda like morals, but they're said in a very Tobago way. And there are 5 of them in particular that I really, really enjoy and that I am constantly taught the lesson through my kids. And I wanted to share some of them with you. If you were raised on some of these proverbs, or if some of these proverbs have helped you along in your life or helped you raise your kids, let me know in the comments below. And of course, like, subscribe, notification bell on, and share with a Caribbean person you know, see if they could relate to this. The first proverb is howdy tenky brock no bone. Saying hello, saying thank you doesn't take anything out of you, so just do it. Tobagonians are extremely big on what we like to call brought upsy and manners. So it is unconscionable, it is unforgivable for a child to be passing on the road and see an adult and not say good morning. This has become extremely difficult in pandemic Tobago because with all the masks, everybody trying to kind of keep to themselves. So you're not seeing that part of our culture a lot. And it's almost hurtful to me. Because I try my best to make sure if I see somebody on the road, I say good morning, whether I know them or not. And of course, as I discussed in this video up here, I probably know them. Though people would say that our growing population, a lot of people aren't doing it as much because we don't know who the person is. But even when I lived abroad, when I was in New York, I used to be on the elevator and I'd say good morning and people would be like, why is she talking to me? But it was just something that was in me. And so how this has made me become a better mother is that it's something that I'm really trying to impart to my 2 boys. I want to make sure that they understand that it really takes nothing out of you to say hello or, thank you, or just give a greeting or show gratitude to people. Now, I have had varying success with this with my 2 boys. So one of my children, Quayhan, he is like a saltfish, what we call a saltfish. Saltfish is salted cod. So we cook with it and it mixes in well with everything. And that is exactly Quayhan. He's like just add water. It's like just add Quayhan and the party, start. He's a real live wire. And so he's all about the howdy tenky brock no bone. He's like, hey, hi, okay, how you doing? Like that is him all day. Devari is much more self-contained, and not as expressive. And so he is not about that, let's just say good morning to random folk life. Unless you are a pretty lady. Yes. Then he gonna be like, hello, honey. He'll come alive and he'll be telling you hello and good morning and all of this, right? But for right now, at 3, he's like, I don't see why I need to tell any of y'all good morning. Okay, y'all need to earn my morning. All right? So varying degrees of success, but I'm hoping that as they get older and as they see their father and I do this, they will get even more into it. The second proverb that has helped me become a better mother is, you make the children, you don't make them mind. And that is exactly what Devari is trying to teach me. It's, yes, you've made the child, you've made the baby, but you have not made their mind. Their mind is going to be completely shaped by them, the experiences they have. Yes, you to some extent, but you can't make it for them. I have to constantly remind myself that I only made the child. I can't make their mind. I can't make them do the things that I want them to do. This has been a journey for me because growing up as a kid in the 90s and the 80s, you were coming in under Black Power movement, which is kind of similar to the civil rights movements in the States, and remnants of colonialism. And so whatever your parents said, that is what you did. So there was no real leeway for acting outside of that. But now that I am a parent and I would say, extremely liberal, try my best to remember this, that like I made a child. I cannot force them to do whatever it is I want them to do. Frustrating? Yes. Am I coping? Barely. The third proverb that has helped me be a better parent is Stoney just sit down and lappy foot a wait. Now this one I got from my husband, who is from Charlottesville. So Charlottesville is like the extreme most village in Tobago. It's at the complete east of the island. It's the last, we like to call it the last village. It's not really the last village. Tobago kind of almost like a circle, but it's the one that is the most I guess the furthest away from Crown Point, which is where the airport is, or Scarborough, which is the capital of Tobago. And I put capital in quotes because it's not a city, it's a town. When you sit down a lappy foot away, which really is saying to you, or old time ways of doing things is always going to be there, with no matter how much technology you have come up with and how much you think you've evolved, the real old time way of doing it is always going to be there. The way that I try to impart this to my boys is I try to have us go outside and play games that we would play, that I would play as a child. I want them to know that they could bathe in a bucket outside just as much as they could bathe in a shower. I want them to know that they could use a candle to achieve the same thing that they could switch on a light for. So it's kind of letting them understand that doing things in a more traditional way and not and understand how to do them, because they will never leave you. Like this morning, my husband was dropping me off to work, and my son says to me, he said, "Oh gosh, boy, we really need to play a red light, green light." Red light, green light is a game you played in primary school. Object of the game is that one person is going to turn their back to a line of kids at the back. And, well, maybe everybody knows red light, but just in case you don't know what is red light, green light, let me tell you, right? So there's a line of kids at the back, and so you would turn to face the same direction that all the kids are facing. There would be some length behind you, and so the child who is standing in the front would say red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, and then as they say 3, they turn back around, and the kids are supposed to have moved closer to you in the time that your face was facing in the same direction. Anytime your head turns to the back and you see one of them moving, they're out. Right? It's a game that I kind of taught Quayhan to play from about 2 years old, 3 years old, and he just loves the game. My mother playing the game with him, me, his dad, he just enjoys it so much. Now everything is a tablet, right? Like they know how to use a tablet, they know how to swipe them little fingers. They know how to swipe them little fingers from the time they're born, right? They come out the womb knowing how to. It's important to me that they still have these types of traditional games and traditional way of doing things. Quayhan plant melon the other day, like some really nice melon, so I want to get accustomed to being in the earth and doing things in a way that is not always modern, but definitely retro, so he has alternatives. Same thing with Vary, but he's just a little younger. But he loves the outdoors, doesn't like to wear shoes. That is those types of things I love about him, because it's like, okay, I could not wear shoes. I don't need shoes. I don't need that. Yeah. The fourth proverb that has helped me be a better mother is all skin teeth, no laugh. Now, this is a very, very popular one on the island, and basically what it's saying to you is not everybody who laughs and smiles at you is your friend. And so this one is a hard one to teach. This one is one that they're going to have to experience for themselves in order to know. It's a hard lesson to learn, but I think it's one that we've all had to learn. And my mom, she talks about this all the time. She's like, this is one of the hardest lessons that she learned, because she thought growing up in her village that everybody was one big community and everybody was one big family. And, learning that discernment. And I still, as an adult, I'm dealing with that and trying to learn that, because it's so hard to know who is genuine and who is not. And it's just a matter of time and experience that are going to give you the equipment to be able to say, oh, okay, this is what it is. But I try to talk to them about it, not to scare them and be like, oh my gosh, somebody's gonna out to get you, but more them understand that human nature is such that sometimes you're gonna get somebody who ain't riding hard for you. Fifth proverb is, crapo no vex with the boy we mash am. He vex with the boy we say, look at crapo. Crapo is a frog. The frog is not upset with the person who kick him or mash him. Nah, he upset with the person who said, hey, look at frog over there. And rightfully so, right? So as human beings, we see animals, insects, frogs, snakes come into the house, and you're like, oh my God, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And for me, I'm always like, no, don't kill it. It's another living thing. You don't need to kill it. You don't need to harm it. Just find a way to get it out without harming it, And so Kwehan, he all the time, he's like, he's always like, oh, look at a centipede, I want to kill it. Look at I want to kill it. And I'm just like, why? I was like, don't kill it. Don't kill it. Don't let it be vexed with you because you're like, look, that thing there, let me go kill it, Try your best to get it out of the house without harming it. And of course, there are bigger implications. Don't try to be vexed with the person who has done you wrong. Be vexed with the person who put it in the head. So it's kind of like these women who out here beating up other women because they're sleeping with her man. And it's like, why are you beating her up? You need to be vexed with your man. Yes, on a wider range, that is what I want. That on a wider scale, that is what, of course, I'd like to teach. But for right now, the way that they understand it or conceptualize it best is with living animals and living things that, probably crawl around the house or come into the house. Try to get it out without doing it damage or doing it harm. Listen, if you haven't yet, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, I subscribed, so that I can welcome you into the Devonne Adana experience, like my mama taught me. If you've ever wondered what it's like living in a population of 65,000 on a small island, you need to check out my What Is It Really Like Living in Tobago video.